Auntie Skinner's chicken dinner. The picker picks a wishbone will be the lucky winner of a brand new pair of homespun trousers. No other spinner spins a pair of trousers like our aunties. Come along, you little cotton picker.
Alors, bonjour mes braves et bienvenue à la deuxième série de la cuisine en lockdown, ou comme on dit en France, à vos marques, prêt, cuisson. Okay, enough of that for now, but I did want to check if the subtitles were working, just in case we get a rain interruption. So welcome back. Today we're doing the challenge set by Pippa in southwest France near the picturesque little village of Périgord. And that seemed like a very excuse to pour myself a 3-in-1 hand, nose and throat sanitizer, which sells under the brand name of Pernod, although I'm obliged to point out that other aniseed-based hand sanitizers are available. Cheers. So, Pippa's given us a fantastic selection. We have bell peppers, feta cheese, apricots, rice, avocado, and chicken breasts to be precise. Hence the intro music today, which was Auntie Skinner's Chicken Dinners by the famous London duo Chaz and Dave. Now, my first thought when I saw this selection, these first two, bell peppers and feta cheese, anybody who has ever visited Albania or lived in Albania like we did, this combination screams out fergues. So you'll find out what that is a little later on if you don't already know, but that was those two ingredients sorted. Then it's Saturday, it's the weekend, we deserve to have something sweet, so that pretty much tied up the apricots and the rice in some form of dessert, and that basically left me the chicken and the avocado. So the question was, do I get an avocado and stuff it with chicken, or do I get a chicken and stuff it with avocado? So on balance, what I decided to do was do a spicy Mexican chicken breast and then stuff it with a guacamole. So that's our plan for today. That's 3 dishes, or 4 if you count the guacamole as a separate dish. So what extra ingredients did we need for that? Well, a few things. We needed a few cherry tomatoes, small tomatoes, some Greek yogurt, a little bit of Greek yogurt, the orange blossom water, that's where that comes in, some lime juice, some walnuts, just a handful of walnuts, don't need all of those, a bit of butter, garlic, some vanilla essence, a little bit of zest of an orange and a little bit of zest of a lemon, and a red onion. Hopefully with that lot we can prepare all the dishes we need today. Okay, cheers. So let's start with our chicken, or to be more precise, the chicken marinade, and I'm actually going to do that live here because I need to put that on the chicken and into the fridge fairly soon. So I'm taking a tablespoon of olive oil, and then to that I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt, like that, and then for all the other ingredients around about a quarter of a teaspoonful. So that's chili powder, garlic, ground garlic, oregano, some onion powder, some ground cumin, some ginger, that'll do, and then shot of tequila. Not too much. Give that a good mix around. That's a nice, rich, thick, very aromatic marinade. That's going to go onto the chicken, but not immediately, because before we do, what we have to do with the chicken breast is cut it down the middle so that it opens up like a book or a butterfly, not all the way through, but as far as you can go, keeping one side still together, but opening it up. So we'll do that, and then as soon as we've done that, put the marinade over the chicken, put everything into ideally a lockable plastic bag, and put that in the fridge overnight if you can, or for at least 3 or 4 hours at least anyway in the fridge, so that all the flavours of this beautiful marinade will combine with the chicken, and it will be ready after we've made the guacamole to be stuffed. Okay, so the rain has just started to fall a little bit. If you hear anything in the background, that's probably what it is, but not too bad at the minute. So we're going to press on with the guacamole. So what do we need for that? Well, first we start with a red onion, chop that up very, very finely, put that into the bowl. 1 clove of garlic, not all of this, just a clove or maybe 2. Again, very finely minced or chopped, put them in the bowl. Some cherry tomatoes, again, cut into at least quarters, something like that, into the bowl. Some ideally fresh coriander, if you can get fresh coriander, chopped up again very finely, into the bowl. And then your hopefully ripe avocado. So again, chop that up into pieces, put that into the bowl, and then basically just probably need a spoon and a fork, spoon to stir it around, but a fork also to mash it down a little bit. And that really depends how you like your guacamole, whether you like it really smooth, in which case you could even put it in a blender. But if you like to have some little chunks of avocado, then just mash it gently with the fork until it's the consistency you like it. And then once that's done, add a little bit of salt, some paprika, a squirt of lime juice, and another shot of tequila. Give that a good stir around, and that's basically your guacamole done. Once you've done it, then you get your marinated chicken breast, open it up, and spoon as much of the guacamole into the chicken breast as will fit in. Then close the chicken breast over, and then what you need then is some cocktail sticks, probably about 4 or 5 per chicken breast, and just stab them through to sort of seal and keep the chicken breast intact. Okay, then we take the chicken breast and we put it into the frying pan with a little bit of oil and just cook it for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes on each side, just to seal it. You don't want any more than that. And that's another useful tip. If you're going to put something in the oven, which we are with the chicken breast, just do it a quick seal in the frying pan first before you put it in the oven, and then all the juices of the chicken will stay inside the chicken, not slowly leak out, which would happen if you just put it straight into the oven. So a couple of minutes in the frying pan, and then put your chicken breast into the oven on a baking tray for around 30 minutes, and then you should be done. And one more tip, I can hear the rain's getting louder, but we'll pursue. 1 whole avocado will not go into 2 chicken breasts. Half an avocado will be plenty. So you're bound to have some avocado left over. If you do, or if you made guacamole, if you leave guacamole in the fridge, it'll go brown very quickly. You know, it lasts 2 or 3 hours, but overnight it starts going brown. What you can do, put it into a plastic container, and then just pour some water over the top of it, just so you've got, you know, a centimetre or so of water on top of the guacamole mix. Then put that in the fridge and it won't go brown. And so the next day you just drain off the water and your guacamole's still good to go. Not a problem for us, because we're going to use a bit more of the guacamole tonight to make some avocado cookies to go with our dessert. But I don't have time to include that recipe in today's video. but that's what we're going to do. Okay, we had to take a bit of a break in filming there while the rain passed, but it's all cleared up now, so we should be good to finish off the video. So now we're going to do feta, which, as I said, is one of the most famous Albanian dishes you will find. It can be done as a main course, in which case you usually add meat to the dish. Liver is the most traditional, but today we're doing it as a vegetable side dish, so no meat. And basically, the two main ingredients are peppers and feta cheese, as I said. So the first thing you need to do is cook off your peppers. And the way to do that is to put a little bit of olive oil in a baking tray, cut the peppers in half, put them cut side down into the tray with the oil, put them in the oven. Then after about 20 minutes, turn them over and put them back in the oven and cook for about another 20 minutes. And what should happen by the end is that actually some of the skin starts to blacken and you get some little black marks where it's burning, and that's actually good. That's how you would like it. So cook those off first. Then in a pan, first chop your onion into very small pieces, put that into a pan with olive oil and stir that around, cook for about 5 minutes. Then chop your peppers into about roughly 2 centimetre square pieces, but it really doesn't matter too much. And then add them to the pan with the onion and carry on cooking. Then you chop your tomatoes, add them to the pan as well. And then you chop your basil and add that to the pan. If you've got fresh basil, if you've not, then use some dry basil. And cook that all for around 10 minutes. That's all in that one pan. And then in the second pan, you take your butter and melt the butter in the pan, and then add the flour to it and stir it around so that it becomes a paste, a thick paste, basically, as if you were making a bechamel or white sauce. And then you add your feta cheese, crumble it up and put it into the pan, but keep stirring at this stage, otherwise it will stick. It only takes a minute, but as you put the crumbled feta in, keep it stirring, and then make sure you have your yogurt ready, so that as soon as all the feta is added, then add your yogurt as well, and that will make sure it doesn't stick. And then just keep stirring that around gently for a couple of minutes until the feta has all melted into the yogurt, and the flour and butter mixture has thickened the sauce up. So you've got a very thick, cheesy white sauce. And then all you basically do is add the contents of this pan with the sauce to this pan with the vegetables, put them all into one pan together and mix them up like that. Then add your paprika and or chili. That's up to you, depends how hot you like it. Bit of both probably for us. A spoonful of paprika and half a spoon of chili or something like that. Stir that around. You might want to add some salt, but don't forget that feta is a very salty cheese anyway, so probably better to taste it first before you add any more salt. As soon as it's all mixed up, then you could actually just serve it there as it is, but better is to put it into an oven dish. And then put it in the oven and bake it in the oven for about 30 minutes so that it goes a little bit brown on top. But 30 minutes in the oven should be quite enough for that. And there you go, that's your feta. Okay, so on to our final dish for today, and that is going to be a cold, chilled apricot rice pudding. Okay, this probably comes from Persian cuisine originally, but slightly adapted for our purposes today. But very simple, really. You take your rice, can be any rice really, but I'm using Indian pudding rice for this one, mainly because it absorbs the milk and other things so well and stays nice and soft. So rice into the pan with your milk, your sugar, a little bit of orange zest, just the skin from it, and half of a cardamom stick. Put that on and just stir that gently on a low simmering heat for about 45 minutes. You don't have to keep stirring non-stop, but the closer to the end it gets, the more it's thickened, the more attention you have to pay to it to make sure at the end it doesn't stick. But basically, cook all that off for 45 minutes. The rice should have absorbed all the milk and all the other flavours and be nice and thick. Then take that off the heat and then just add your orange blossom water if you have any. If not, you've already got orange zest, it's not the end of the world, and a little bit of whipping cream. Stir that all around, and then basically that's it, done. Put that in the fridge in the morning, or you can do it the day before and leave it overnight as you wish. But that's your rice pudding made. And then the second thing you do is you take your apricots and slice them, but slice them along the thin edge. So you end up with little diskettes of dried apricot. Put them into your pan with a little bit of water, your honey, the other half of your cinnamon stick, some cardamom seeds. Best if you can break them open first so the flavours really come out. Or if you've got cardamom powder, you can use a quarter teaspoon of cardamom powder, will be fine as well. A little bit of lemon zest this time for a change. And cook that all down for about 30 minutes or so. Basically, again, so that all the flavours absorb and the apricots take on the flavour of the honey and the cinnamon and the cardamom. And then if you want to, if you've got some orange liqueur or something else, you can add that. We're not going to bother today. I think we've got enough tequila in our other dishes to sustain us for today, but you can certainly do that. And then you could put that in the fridge, or you can just leave that out at room temperature. You don't have to, that doesn't have to be cold. And then basically when you're ready to serve, you take your rice pudding out of the fridge, put it into your serving dish, and then spoon some of the apricot slices and a little of the syrup. You probably won't need all of the syrup which is in there, but enough to drizzle over the top of the rice pudding. And then, if you so wish, crumble a few or chop a few walnuts or pistachio nuts or anything like that, and just sprinkle a few over the top. And there you have your Persian cold apricot rice pudding. Alors, poulet farci aux avocats, des poivrons en sauce béchamel et fromage grec, et un dessert de riz aux apricots. Sounds better than guac chicken, cheesy peppers and rice pudding, doesn't it? But it all comes down to the same thing. So, before I head to the kitchen, I'll just say santé and leave you with a traditional French drinking song.
Chevalier de la table ronde, goûtons voir si le vin est bon.
Chevalier de la table ronde,